Okay, good evening, everybody. How are you? Like I usually would do, I usually would just go straight to the point. Yesterday, we discussed about money, the game of process. Some Harvard, some Harvard. If you know that you have plenty money now, they'll say, you are the winner of this week's Suya money. But I don't think I need to give you Suya money. So you are the winner, Sha. I'll send you your plaque. Okay, so yesterday we discussed the game of Solitude. No, not the game of Jenny Stacko. How are you? How are you? Today I want to talk about money and solitude. Solitude means being alone. Solitude or solitary means being alone, the state or situation of being alone. Soup Express Kitchen, you're welcome. Solitude means the state of being alone, a situation where it's just you. It's just you. So what has that got to do with money? What does being alone, what does it have to do with the kind of money that we are talking about? Especially if I've told you before that money was about numbers and that money was about people. So how come I can come back and say there's something about being alone and money? So the idea is to explain all of this to you. The idea is to explain all of this to you. Yesterday I discussed money and process, and I was explaining to people who were online yesterday, and of course everybody else who went on the feed to watch it, and I was explaining how people miss the last straw of the process. Okay, you know how they say that the last straw breaks the camel's back. Do you remember? Okay, that's good. Imagine that in a positive way. Imagine that breaking the camel's back was a good thing. Okay, not a good thing. Don't break any camel's back, but let's assume that breaking the camel's back was a good thing. Let's assume that the camel was a problem, and then straw is you trying to throw solutions at the particular problem. So it means that if you needed 1,000 straws to break the camel's back, at 999 the camel is still standing. The camel is still standing after you have put 999 straws on the camel. However, once you put the 1,000th straw, then the camel's back breaks. Why? What does that tell you? It tells you that the last thing on the steps of the process is the most important part of the process, which is why I explained yesterday, and I used real life situation, what's happened to us, happened to people all the time, still happening, to explain. And it is very, very simple. The task is very, very simple. What you are supposed to do is to commit. What you're supposed to do is to commit to say, Top Golex. How are you, Top Golex? The first time you are joining the live. Good to have you. Good to have you. Good to have you. Did we meet yesterday? Did we meet yesterday? If we met yesterday, I'm so happy to see you again. Okay. Alright, so I explained yesterday about the game of process, and I explained to people how it is important for you to see your things through, that it's always important to do the final step of anything. I explained that the final step has more value than the first 6 steps put together. Okay? So anything you are doing, take it to 7. Anything you are doing, take it to 7. Take it to 7. Whatever it is, there's always the 7th step that has much more value and much more money than all the other 6 steps. And it does not matter. Anybody who is able to put the 7th on the first 6 is the one who makes all the money that people should make. Okay, so that is set. Today I want to discuss the game of solitude. I've told you that solitude or solitary means the situation or the state of being alone. How come? How can money be a game of being alone? How can money be a game of being alone? How can money be? What do I mean? Let me tell you what I mean. Okay? And you know, I always go straight to the point and just, just give it to you straight up. No, Yinka, how do you do? How do you do? Okay, so the idea is to give it to you straight. Solitude. All right. Now, mention any big name. Mention any big name in whatever walk of life in your mind. Mention any big name. Okay, so let's assume that anybody here decided to mention, say, Mark Zuckerberg, for example, of Facebook. Remember when Mark and their friends, when they were building Facebook, remember the story about how everybody thought this was rubbish. This can't be, this is just play. What can this be? And things like that. Do you remember? That's being alone. Do you remember how you can go to a bush and you see plenty butterflies, right? Good. How you can go to a bush and see plenty butterfly. That's very good. It's very good. You see plenty butterfly. That's very good. But have you ever noticed that you don't see caterpillars? Caterpillars are the later larva stage in the butterfly cycle of life. And you don't see caterpillars. They are somewhere, but you don't see them. Why? Because they are alone. Because they need to be alone. They need to be in a cocoon. They need to be alone before they can metamorphosize. The difference between a caterpillar and Frank James, I just saw your chat, not quite longer. Yeah, I think so, yes. The difference between a butterfly and a caterpillar is nothing. The Crown Footwears, you're welcome. You are welcome. Olumide, you're welcome. Good to have you. Olumide was our winner from last week. So Olumide Suya money will reach Olumide's account in a jiffy. It's been busy weekend for me and all of that. Yesterday I was at the conference. Today I was doing some courtesy visit and all of that. Okay, so the difference between a caterpillar and a butterfly was solitary, which means that any caterpillar that decides to come out, for example, any caterpillar that decides to come out will never become a butterfly. If a caterpillar, can you imagine? So I was right like today's rate. If a caterpillar decides to say, no, I want to go out, I want to just walk around, and did not go and stay in the cocoon, he's not going to become a caterpillar. Have you ever wondered why sometimes when you have some thoughts, it's just as if it's just only you. You're just the only person who is thinking what you're thinking. My friend, my dear brother, if you feel alone in your thoughts, you are just about to eat gold. You are just about to eat what? Oil. Every time when you are alone is an opportunity for greatness. I promise you. Have you ever wondered why eggs have to incubate before they hatch? Because the egg needs it, and the mother hen that is going to hatch those chickens has to brood on those eggs. And when they are brooding on eggs, you don't see the mother hen, you don't see it around. It goes somewhere and is alone there. There is something about greatness and being alone. There is something about greatness and being alone. Have you ever wondered about how those friends, those of your friends, those people who cannot be alone are usually almost the worthless of all their friends? For example, if you have a cycle of Inoriolu Ayola, you're welcome. Good to see you. Why are you bearing my surname? Why do we have the same surname, Inoriolu Ayola? Okay, so have you ever wondered that in a group of, say, 7 friends, the most worthless, in quotes, permit me to use that word, the most worthless of all the 7 friends is the one who cannot be alone. Have you ever wondered that value is solitary? Value is solitary. Value is solitary. In fact, if it becomes too usual, it loses value. So, incubation and what people call being alone and what people call unpopular is serious deep well and avenue for huge success and huge money. People have, for example, you need to learn how to maximize your alone time, because that is when it is quiet. That is when you can listen to yourself. That is when you can find ideas. The best of your ideas will come to you sometimes when you are in the shower. People have said several things about shower. I was in the shower and it occurred to me. I was in the shower and it occurred to me. People think that it is because water is pouring on their head. In fact, some people say shower. You don't have shower in their bathroom, oh, it's still bucket. Okay. Now, it is not the water that is pouring in their head. It is because that's usually the time that most people are alone. People who have husband and wives, that's the time they can even maybe be away from their husband and wife if their house is not big, as it were. So, it is very, very important for you to understand that money, self-actualization kind of money, your destiny kind of money, becoming all that you can become kind of successful, is always going to be tied to the game of solitude. Praise Aderogba, you're welcome. Praise Aderogba, you're welcome. Praise Aderogba, have we met before? Praise Aderogba, have we met before? Okay, I think we have met before, right? Yeah, I think so. I think we have met before. All right. So you need to understand that being alone is a treasure. Being alone, the time when you are alone, is huge treasure. There is no two ways to it. Embrace your alone time. And let me tell you where I'm actually going to with all of this. Let me tell you I'm actually going to do all of this. Let's assume that there was a technology that is going to change the world. For example, internet. Internet is now very, 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 very popular. The mind that conceived internet, that mind would have been alone when it was conceiving internet. Let me explain what I mean to you. So let's assume that, imagine that this was 1970 and somebody comes to say, there's a machine, that there's a way that we can make this machine called computer. There's a way we can make them send messages to themselves and just talk, so that anybody who sits in front of this machine all over the world, everybody will send things to you. So you won't need to send letter. Sukre ayo, you're welcome. Sukre ayo, you're welcome. And then somebody comes and the person is trying to explain internet to you. You are probably going to say, guy, you are crazy. Guy, go and sit down. There's nothing like that. That time, the person who invented internet became lonely, became alone, solitary. Anytime you are going to advance, anytime you are going to move forward, anytime you are going to move forward and jumpstart stuff, you are going to be alone. You are going to be alone because it's difficult. Simon Gift, you're welcome. Because it's difficult to drag the multitude for advancement. It's difficult. So you must understand when people don't share your opinion or don't share your thought, because you are the only one who is seeing that thing. Your ability to stay alone, to see that thing through, is what will make you a huge success, and what will make you have lots of money, or what will make you create that thing that every other person is going to buy. There is no way. There is nobody who was recording a song and now went to the beach to record the song. There's nobody who was writing a novel and now went to the club and was now writing the novel in the club. There's something about noise. Noise is good, but you have to understand where noise is good. Silence is also golden. You have to understand where silence is golden. You have to understand the purpose of the crowd, and then you also have to understand the purpose of solitary, the purpose of solitude, being alone. It's very, very important. It's very, very important to realize that great things are made in the dark. Great things are made when people are alone. So you have to understand, you have to treasure when you are alone. You have to treasure your thoughts that are not popular. You have to treasure when you have things that are unpopular, when you are seeing things that nobody else can see. You have to be happy about that. That is one of the biggest gifts in life. That is one of the biggest gifts in life. To be alone. To have the ability to be alone is one of the biggest gifts in life, because you will not believe the things that will come to you when you are alone. It is very, very important for you to understand that there is no way. Look, do you remember that thing that they call diamond? Do you remember that they call diamond? You know that thing that they call diamond, Abi? Okay. Now, imagine diamond being formed on the street in your house. On the way to your house. Imagine that there is one stone, no, and they now told you that, see this stone, no, this stone is going to become diamond. Maybe somewhere, I don't know, maybe as all of you are going, you say, this black stone become diamond, though. This black stone become diamond is on your street. Do you think that stone become diamond? Do you think that stone will become diamond? No, it's not going to be able to become diamond. Carbon becomes diamond in solitude, alone, deep somewhere where nobody can see or touch. That is when it becomes diamond. And then once it becomes diamond, people will dig all the way down there to go find it. How many diamond making opportunities have you missed because you thought something and then nobody agreed with you, or because something came to your mind and you thought, nobody's going to believe this, or something came to your mind and you thought, no, this cannot be special. Hear me, you're welcome. This cannot be special. Or something came to your mind and you thought, you must not hear this, or they will say I'm crazy. Peter Bless, you're welcome. Or something came to your mind and you're like, nobody thinks like this, or it's only like before they say I'm crazy. You must embrace solitude. You must embrace being in solitary. You must embrace being alone, because being alone in your thoughts, being alone in your opinion, being alone with your sight, being alone with how you think, being alone with your experience. People have unique experience and they want to cry about their experience being unique. Do you think anybody is going to listen to your story if your story is just the story of tortoise and dog? Everybody knows the story of tortoise and dog now. That story where there was famine in the land, and then dog used to go and eat somewhere, and then the tortoise was asking him, where did you go and eat? And then one day the dog told the tortoise that you would just take small and go, and the tortoise went back and packed everything, and they caught tortoise, and they now went to go and look for the dog, and the dog saw they were coming. The dog now put one egg in this cheek, put one egg in this cheek, and just broke one and say, and vomit, and say, the dog is sick now. The tortoise, you are a thief, you are lying on dog's head. Do you think that if that was your story, do you think that would sell? You have unique experiences. You are afraid. You are afraid of being alone. You think, this thing has happened to me. It does not happen to everybody else. So you want to shy away from your story. You want to hide your story. It is being alone also means being unique. People think that being alone stops at being alone. Being alone also means standing out. You are born alone. The moment nature gave you a DNA that is different from 6 billion, what's 6 billion? About 7 billion in the world people, and you happen to have a DNA that is different from everyone else, it means that universe was trying to tell you that you need to understand or embrace solitude. Embrace being alone. Embrace being yourself. Embrace being different. Embrace being different. Everybody who has gone ahead to do great things always have their alone time. Always had a time when they were alone. Always had a time that nobody believed in them. Always had a time that people thought what their ideas were crazy. had a time when people thought, no, that's not possible. And then people say, where everybody told them this will not work. There is nobody. It just doesn't happen. There is no way. Imagine that you are Mary, and then you come and say, I'm pregnant with the Holy Spirit. You alone in the whole world. How can you come and say it's not possible now? Stop looking for validation. Stop looking for validation from what is generic. Stop looking for validation from what is generic. Like before something can make sense, it has to have happened to other people. So poverty, for example, it happens to a lot of people. Does it make sense to you? Does poverty make sense to you? Will you allow poverty to make sense with you? Because poverty happens. In fact, over 90 million people in Nigeria are poor. So are you going to say that oh yeah, now be poor now? Sure, you be poor. Because apparently many people are poor. Do you think you want to be poor? So because he has numbers does not make it right. Because you are alone on it does not make it wrong. Does not make it wrong. So you have to understand that the game of money is a game of solitude. Embrace when you are alone. Sharpen your belief system. Anything that you are convinced about, go for it. Go with it. There is no two ways to this thing. There is no two ways to this thing. Don't let anybody be telling you, don't let anything that nobody has done before. Do you want to do something that somebody else has done before? Is that what you want to do? Would you not like to do something that nobody else has done before? Really? So you want to do something that nobody else has done before, but you don't want to be alone. You want to have people to say, oh yeah, we know this thing, but you want to do something that nobody has done before. How? If you want to do something that nobody has done before, or make the kind of money that they've not made in your family, or do great things, you have to understand that you are going to be alone. And you have to be ready to embrace that. You have to be ready to embrace being alone. That is why I have told you that you need to be strong. That's why I told you about the energy of the money maker. You need a lot of energy. You need energy, because this thing takes energy. It takes energy to be alone. That's why a lot of people cannot be alone. Have you wondered? That's why people will be looking for company up and down. You know, this and that. They can't be alone. They don't want to be alone in their thought, because they're afraid of what you will think when you're alone. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine somebody who say, I don't like being alone because I used to have bad thoughts when I'm alone? The first time somebody said that to me, I was like, are you all right? You are afraid of being alone with yourself because you don't know what you'll be thinking. Are you fine? Are you fine? How can you be afraid of being alone when that's the best time of your life? When that is when you brood, that is when you incubate, that is when your caterpillar becomes a butterfly. That is when you build your belief. That time when you say, that's the time when an eaglet looks to himself and say, I can fly. You don't say that kind of thing alone. You don't know that when you stay in front of your mirror, you alone, you can say, Ayodamola, you're a great man. You're going to succeed. Do you think it's easy to say that when everybody is in the room? How will you not like when you are alone? How will you not like when you are alone? How? You must embrace being alone. I have told you will be a great person. I have told you that people will love you. I have told that people will like you. I have told that you will do great things. You will influence a lot of people. You have a lot of influence. You will make a lot of money. We have discussed several things. But today, you need to understand the game of solitude. There is no way. There is no way. Go and check all your successful uncles. Go and check them. All your successful aunties, go and check them. Anybody that you know that is successful, go and check them. They don't joke with their alone time because they understand that is a time of silence. That is the time when you can hear yourself. You can hear your spirit mind talking to you. That's when you hear what the universe is trying to tell you. You want information that nobody else has, but you don't want to separate yourself. You want to be where everybody else is. You want results that is outstanding, but you don't want to stand outside the crowd. You want an outstanding result, but you don't want to stand outside. You don't want to be alone, away from the crowd, but you want an outstanding result. How now? I mean, really now, how do you want that to happen? Please tell me now. Tell me, how do you want that to happen? How do you want that to happen? Wale me 678, you're welcome. How do you want that to happen? How do you want that to happen now? You must look. If you want to join the crowd and be a faceless man, no problem. But you want to succeed. You want to succeed even on your streets, ordinary on your streets. The person who has G-Wagon, everybody knows him. Ordinary G-Wagon. On your street, everybody will know you. If you have white G-Wagon, they will know you. If your G-Wagon is green, you know you. If there are 4 G-Wagon on your street, they will know the owner of all the 4. The people that they don't know is the people that is walking on the leg. That's the people that they don't know. So, but you want to do great things. But if you don't want to be alone. You don't want to be alone. You don't want to have thoughts or opinion that is different from the majority. No, you have to rethink that. Say, I have power when I'm alone. I have power when I'm with people. I need to be with people. I also need to be alone. I understand when to be alone, and I understand when to be with people. I know what to do when I am alone, and I know what to do when I am with people. You need to say that to yourself multiple times, and you need to internalize it. Okay? When you are alone is an opportunity for you to affirm yourself. When you are alone and you are doing something that is not popular, you must understand that you are building something. You must always remember the diamond. You must always remember the caterpillar that is alone in the cocoon and about to become a butterfly. You must remember. You know I love you guys. I'm rooting for you. I totally want you guys to succeed. And I'm giving it all my all. Everything that I have, I'm putting into this so that you can get this. You can get this. Yes, Frankie's, I like that. Very simple, proportional. Yeah. I like that. It's so nice to be with you guys today. You guys are awesome. I mean, sorry if I shouted at you guys. I just wanted you guys to just get it. I just wanted you guys to get it. Thank you so much.